Hello, and welcome to the channel. Welcome to something brand new here. We're doing a TEW 2020 Experiment. We are here with a company I've set up, FPW, Future Pro Wrestling, where I have moved 46, I believe, of the hottest prospects in professional wrestling into this company to see how they will develop over the space of a year out on their own like this. As you can see, FPW popularity zero all around the world. This is about how the superstars develop, but also how they develop this company, how they will push the pop up for FPW, this brand new wrestling company. As you can see from the company war screen, FPW currently 57th, last place, insignificant. A lot of progress could be made in the space of this year, or very minimum. There's a lot of good superstars available. I'll show you the roster now, and we'll go through them. We have Ace Austin, A-Kid, Aaliyah, Anna Jay, Ava Valkyrie, Austin Gunn, Austin Theory, Boa, Bron Breakker, Carmelo Hayes, Cora Jade, Danny Luna, Dante Martin, Deonna Purrazzo, Dominic Mysterio, Gigi Dolan, Humberto Carrillo, Indy Hartwell, Isaiah Cassidy, Isla Dawn, JC Jane, Jake Atlas, Jungle Boy, Keira Hogan, Chris Statlander, Leo Rush, Liv Morgan, Mansoor, Marco Stunt, Mark Quinn, MJF, Nash Carter, Nixon Newell, Omos, Rhea Ripley, Rio, Sarai, Tay Conti, Tony Storm, Trey Mcgill, Tyler Bate, Wesley, and Zaya Brookside. Absolute stacked roster full of very high potential superstars, and controlling them and booking them will be Triple H. Triple H will be in charge of booking FPW over the course of this year. He did very well at NXT in developing talent. How will he develop these talents going forward? We will have to find out. Looking at the creative screen here, as you can see, franchise players. As you'd probably expect, the first two, MJF and Rhea Ripley. Also, it says big things for Jungle Boy, Chris Statlander, and Tony Storm to look out for. So we'll have to see how that goes. Title-wise, there are 6 championships. We have men's and women's tag team championships. We have men's and women's mid-card championships in the United States and $1 million titles. And of course, we have the women's championship and FPW World Heavyweight Championships. All prestige at 0 as well. So we'll be seeing how the superstars develop, how the company develops, and how the prestige of these championships develops. A lot to look out for over the course of this year. Looking at the schedule, they have the weekly show FPW Heat, as well as 12 pay-per-views to look out for, all randomly named, and ending with the FPW's WrestleMania. FPW The Future is now week 4, Sunday, December. And so when we come back Monday, week 1, January 2023, it would have just happened. It would have been a whole year in the show, and we'll be able to get a good idea of how the future of wrestling, these young superstars, will develop over the course of this year. Who is going to stand out? Who is going to maybe falter a little bit among this crowd of young talent? Without further ado, let's find out. Let's simulate a year, and let's see what happens when the future of pro wrestling is now. And here we are, Monday, week 1, January 2023, a whole year later here. Looking at the awards, Wrestler of the Year, Daniel Bryan, a bit unsurprising really. Company of the Year, New Japan Pro Wrestling, Team of the Year, RK Bro. Match of the Year, Bryan Danielson and CM Punk defeat John Moxley and Jericho by DQ. Sounds like a banger. Show of the Year, New Japan Pro Wrestling. Scrolling through, Most Improved Company of the Year, FPW. That's what you like to see. It's a good sign at the very least. Looking at FPW, seeing how they got on size-wise, I can see they ranked 11th in the world. I believe they were ranked 47th originally, so a lot of growth this year. Looking at the size, yeah, progressing really well. As you can see, from 0 in January 2022, slowly building up all the way to 25 in most places, at least in America here. Doing really well around the world as well. A lot of yellow. FPW as a company has progressed really well. I think that is a good sign for the wrestlers. We'll just look at FPW The Future is now their WrestleMania to get an overall idea of the state of the company. Sarai and Keira Hogan defeat Danny Luna and Zaya Brookside. Cora Jade defeat Chris Statlander to retain the $1 million title. Cora Jade doing well there. Carter and Miguel defeat Boa and Bron Breakker. Deonna Purrazzo defeats Aaliyah to retain the FPW Women's Champion. Deonna Purrazzo maybe a bit unsurprisingly Women's Champ there. Hot Property defeat Tay Conti and Liv Morgan to retain the FPW Women's Tag titles. Hot Property, the team of Priscilla Kelly and Ava Valkyrie. Tyler Bate, Jungle Boy, and Dominic Mysterio defeating Omos and Private Party. A match of the night, a ladder match Dante Martin and Mansour defeating Ace Austin and Humberto Carrillo. Lio Rush defeating Marcus Stunt to retain FPW World Heavyweight title. Lio Rush, World Champion. And the United States title in the main event. Wes Lee defeating MJF in a ladder match to retain it. A sellout crowd here of 200 with 5.8 million people watching. I'm on the FPW network. Show rating of 61. FPW Future now doing well. A good show. Looking at the title screen. Let's just go through it. FPW Men's Tag Team titles. First champions Jungle Boy and Mansour. Holding it for 4 months. Losing to Isaiah Cassidy and Mark Quinn Private Party. Held it for a couple months. Lost it back to Jungle Boy and Mansour, who held it till November. And they lost it to the current champions Humberto Carrillo and MJF. What a team they would be. Prestige up to 4. Men's tag titles doing well. The women's tag titles doing better. Prestige is 6. Fewer champions. Liv Morgan and Leah winning the belts in Feb, holding it till September. Long reign for them for losing it to the current champions Ava Valkyrie and Gigi Dolan. The FPW $1 Million Championship, the women's mid-card. Current prestige of 8. Really doing well here. Isla Dawn, the inaugural champ, losing it to Tay Conti, who lost it to the current champion Cora Jade, who has held it for 68 days, going strong. Whilst the men's mid-cards, the US title, also a prestige of 8. MJF, the inaugural champion, maybe a bit unsurprising. Only held it for 3 months, though, before losing it to Tyler Bate. Held it for about 4 months, lost it to Wes Lee, the current champion. FPW women's title, prestige of 4, not doing so well. Rio, the inaugural champion, probably partly is not doing so well prestige-wise. She held it from January to June. Only 1 defense, though. Not having many matches for it. Deonna Purrazzo, a lot more, though, holding it from June to now the current champion, 8 defenses. Doing really well with that belt, bringing up the prestige. Looking at prestige, yeah, in Rio's reign, it went from 0 to 1. Deonna's dragged it up to a 4. Deonna doing much better with that belt. Whilst the FEW World Heavyweight title, the main title, inaugural champion Dominic Mysterio, getting that name brand of the Mysterio on there. Held it till August, 11 defenses. Lost it to Lio Rush. Lio Rush in 4 months, 9 defenses, going really strong, 8 prestige. This roster dragging the prestige of both the company and the belts up really well here. Looking at a big thing here, of course, the roster. Starting here, Ace Austin, popularity-wise, up to a 40 in the Americas. As you can see, from the kind of 30 range to the 40 range, progressing well. A-Kids, popularity-wise, over in the Americas. Oh, not doing so well, 8 7s. But he was at 1, so that's going well. A-Kids, match history-wise, not really being used. 9 matches, 8 defeats probably explains that, but still progressing. Aaliyah up to a 25 in the Americas from an 18. She's developing as well. Former women's tag champ, of course. Anna Jay up to a nearly 40s in America. Anna Jay, which was around where she started, though. I don't know how much she is being used. Not much. 10 matches. 6 wins, 4 losses, though. Positive record. Ava Valkyrie, women's tag champ, of course, with Gigi Dolan, up to 19 in Americas from a 1. So she's progressing enormously. Whilst Austin Gunn's got a 20 in Americas, which I don't know how far off that is from where he starts at 20. He's literally had no growth or decline. Match history-wise, 5 matches, 3 losses, 2 wins, probably explains that not being used much. The other Austin, though, Austin Theory, 35 in most of the Americas. From a 28, progressing slowly but surely. Whilst Boa, over in the Americas, not much growth. I don't know how much he is being used as well, though. Reasonably, he's been used a bit, but he's mainly losses, 10 losses, 3 wins. It's a big roster, so a lot of superstars not getting used, maybe not going to develop as well. Bron Breakker, up to 35 in Americas. He can start at around 28, so he's making some progress as well. Carmelo Hayes, bright prospect from NXT 2.0, hasn't grown much from 25, still in 25s in most of the Americas. Match history-wise, yeah, not being used. 4 matches, 1 win, 3 losses, explains that. Cora Jade, of course, the FPW $1 Million champion. Progress-wise, I'm sure she's doing well. Yeah, from 13s and 18s up to the 25 and plus range in most of Americas. Whilst Danny Luna here, popularity-wise, up to 18 in most of the Americas. From 0, so that is a lot of progress from her. Dante Martin, around the 50 mark in the Americas. Started at 35, so plus 15 for him. Progressing enormously, Dante. Popularity-wise, Deonna Purrazzo, FPW's women's champion, of course, progressing from 33s to 40s. She's doing well. Dominic Mysterio, the inaugural FPW World Heavyweight Champion, up to 51 in the Americas from 45. He was quite high as ready in comparison to a lot of people. Still making some progress though, +6. Julie Dolan, other half of the FPW Women's Tag Champs, up to 35 in most of the Americas from 28 and 25, so she's progressed really well. Humberto Carrillo, FPW Men's Tag Champ with MJF, from 38 to 47, so +9. Good for him. Champion, of course, progressing. Indy Hartwell, 32 in most of the Americas now. She was 32, so not much progress for her, really. Match history-wise, is she being used? 6 matches, 4 wins, 2 losses. So she's got a positive record, but not getting many matches to progress with. Isaiah Cassidy, half of the Private Party, was at 32, is at 43, making progress, doing well. Isla Dawn, from 1s and 0s to 13s and 14s, doing well in popularity, spiking-wise. JC Jane, how's she getting on? JC Jane, she's up to 18s in most of the Americas from 10s, so it's going well for her. She's making progress, whilst Jake Atlas got to 22 in the majority of America now. He started at 22, so no progress from him. But match history-wise, he's yet to have a single match, which explains that. He's just sitting around in FPW waiting for something to happen. Jungle Boy up to 50 in most of Americas from 49, so not much progress from Jungle Boy. Match history-wise, used a lot, Jesus Christ. Jungle Boy with 59 matches, 36 wins over in FPW. A lot of title matches, 8 wins, 14 losses. Wow. Keira Hogan, popularity-wise, up to 25s, 28s, 30s in some places in America. She started at 23s in a lot of them, so she's progressing. Chris Statlander, up to 44 in most of the Americas. Started at 42, so slow progress from her, but making progress nonetheless. Leo Rush, of course, the FPW World Heavyweight Champion. How's he getting on? Up to 47 in most of the Americas. Started at 33, so 14 progress from him. A lot of progress from FPW's World Champ. Liv Morgan, 44 in most of the Americas. I think that's pretty close to where she starts. Yeah, 43, so not much progress from Morgan here. 18 wins to 7 losses, though. She's doing well in the company in terms of everything, of course, but still not making that much progress popularity-wise, whilst Mansoor over here up to 41 in most of the Americas. Started at 33, so he's progressing quite nicely. Marco Stunt in the popularity department up to 48 throughout the Americas. Well, he started at 33, so 15 progress for him. Really good from Stunt. Whilst Mark Wen, the other half of the Private Party, of course, progressing up to a 43 in most Americas from 32. Really good progress from him, plus 11. MJF, one half of the FPW Men's Tag Team Champions with Humberto Carrillo, a 56 in most Americas, popularity-wise, started as one of the highest, is still one of the highest, but it's actually seen some decline from a 57 at the start of this. MJF, match history-wise, a lot of matches, 52, 35 wins, doing well in the company, of course. At FPW, the Future is now losing in the United States title match to Wes Lee. And speaking of Wes Lee, the other half of MSK, Nash Carter, up to a 40 in most of the Americas. Started at 34, so he is making some progress. Omars, up to 28 years of age, 47 popularity, and most of the USA. Started at 48 though, so a little bit of a decline from the giant. 21 wins, 27 losses. Probably explains that. It's doing okay though, 47, still on the higher end of a lot of the popularity here. Whilst Rhea Ripley, 59 popularity, one of the highest here. Started at 59, no progress. How much is Rhea Ripley being used though, I wonder? 5 wins, 1 loss. Only 6 matches throughout this year. Rhea Ripley, when she fights, she wins, usually here. But she's not being used that much for some reason. Whilst Rio has got 38 popularity in most of the Americas and started at 35, so a little bit of progress from her. And Sarai up to a 28 throughout most of USA popularity-wise. whilst she started at a 26, so a little bit of progress from her as well. Tay Conti, 40 popularity throughout most of the USA, and she started at 36, so some progress from her, +4 in most of their. Tay Conti doing well, whilst Tegan Knox, 36 throughout most of the Americas. She started at 35, so tiny bit of progress, popularity rise from Tegan Knox. Toni Storm, 40 popularity in most of the USA. Started at 39, a little bit of progress from her. Progress is really slowing down as I go down this list. Trey Mcgill, 40 in most of the USA. He started this at 28 in a lot of places, so +12 from him. Trey Mcgill having a good year. And Tyler Bate, 38 in most of the USA, started at 27, so big progress from him as well, with that +11 in a lot of places. Happy with that. Wesley, of course, FPW United States champion, beat MJF in that Future Is Now main event, 48 popularity throughout most of the USA, started at 34, +14. Really good work from Wesley, a lot of development from him. And finally, Zaya Brookside, 14 popularity in most of the USA, started at 0, so +14 for her, progressing really nicely. Overall, FPW's roster progressed really well throughout the year. Something I just wanted to check was the Power 500, and as you can see, quite a few FPW superstars on it. MJF 201, then you got people like Stunt, Martin, Austin, Mysterio, Omar, Humberto, Wesley, Jungle Boy, Mansoor, Leo Rush, all in that 200 to 300 range as well. And then below that, you also got Cassidy, Quen, Miguel, Bate, Nash Carter, Bronze Breaker, and Austin Theory in the top 500. So overall, FPW going really well here, I think. The superstars progressing nicely, the company progressing nicely. Really happy with it. Triple H, head booker as well. I'm sure he's pleased with the progress they're all making here for FPW. But I think that is going to be it for now. I'm happy with this. I hope you've enjoyed the video. I might do another part to this. Go a couple years further, perhaps two or three more years. See how FPW gets on. Maybe see if they can push further. Maybe even in contention with WWE and AEW and New Japan in terms of popularity and match ratings. But that is it for now. I do hope you've enjoyed this TEW2020 experiment. If you have, then please like and subscribe for more. And thank you for watching.